Hey gang, welcome back. It is I, DrBossKey, and today I thought I would go over a very short thing. We've had this request come up a few times in the community, and it's how would you implement a timer in Shmup Creator? And right now there are a couple different ways you could do it, but the most basic way is what I'm about to show you. So let me just show this to you real quick. So you'll notice in the bottom right corner, right here. Oh, I'm missing me. Let me see here. Bloop. There we go. All right, so you'll notice here that there is a timer here, and it's just counting down. Nothing too fancy-pantsy here. And the way that you would do this is, I think I can turn myself back on here. Turning me on. All right, cool. So I basically have the script objects here. So what I do here, just to keep things organized for myself, a little quick tip for you guys out there is, so I use a gameplay trigger, and then I set it to enemy's HP is less than 1. Because it's not connected to an enemy, then I just connect this to a text object. And the text object here, this is just for debug text, essentially is just a reminder of what I'm looking at. Because eventually, when you have a lot of different pieces of functionality, like for instance, you might want to be like, oh wait, what was this over here? Oh, this is the game endings logic, right? So I did a prototype for that, and this is how I do alternate game endings. This is how I'm doing the weapon powered down feature. And so at some point, especially because you can copy and paste your script code between levels, you can have basically a sandbox. This is my test lab, where you can prototype some of the features that you want without making mistakes in your actual game level that you want to ship. And then you can move it from here to the other level. So it's kind of like your little base of operations. All right, so I got that piece, and then basically all it is I set up a countdown. Countdown is set to switch mode. Duration is set to 1 second. And then what happens is that after this countdown fires, we have the text here, which is also the text object from your gameplay display and animated text. So from your GameBox gameplay objects. And here we have this set to switch mode, but play until the end. Duration is set to 1 second. We're just using text here, and then you put in your text for the timer, and then you can configure all these as you would expect normally. I wanted to always have, when these are available, always have the text render at the same spot on the screen. So in that case, I basically have set the position, horizontal and vertical, to these values. Wherever you want to put them is up to you. But I left world position off. That way I didn't accidentally move things or want to move the timer around. So it's up to you. You could also set it up to be world position, and then you can physically move all of your text timers to be in the same physical position. But again, it's, your mileage may vary. So rendering order I set to automatic in this case. I didn't really need to change anything there because we show one and then we show another one once it's done. And then here in transition, you set your duration for transition in and transition out to 0, because you don't, unless you want fades or something else. But this is just straight render one thing and then stop rendering it and then render the next thing. And then I turn off all of the transition in and out bits, and that's it. And then script wise, so that countdown fires at 1, and then it's 18 seconds or 18 minutes in this case. And then hooked up to that countdown timer is the next countdown timer in sequence, which is the same exact thing. Switch mode 1.0 for duration. And then it's 17:59, and you just go right down the stack. So this is a total of 10 seconds. The cool part about this is that since you know where you're at in the space, say you wanted to have, I don't know, some kind of like super fun trigger. So you could totally, like you could have like an effects trigger, right? Like where it has confetti at the end, and then you could essentially put confetti at the end, or you could add one more timer. So this gives you the option to put things into the sequence of time that you're keeping. So that's a way to do that. Okay, great. Very short and sweet. It might have been a little bit more than I expected. I hope this is helpful. Talk to you all next time.